Today we're going to take a look at a team which only got me positive sets, and we're going to take a look at also the Sandslash here, the Alolan Sandslash as a shadow version with the legacy move Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is pretty nice in this meta. I definitely recommend it over the Powder Snow. Main reason for this are all those ghosts that are available. Like here already, we're going to see a Haunter against us, which gets super effective damage from our fast move as we can face a Dedenne coming in. I actually misplay this set here as well, like this game here in general, because I'm going to shield up the next move, going to be a play rough. I'm going to throw already a foul play, which was not the smartest idea. Maybe they didn't count, but they did count, and now I don't get to my next move in time, which wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done, but things like this just happen. Well, at least we got rid of the Dedenne for the Altaria, which is the main reason for the say swap of our Sableye here. The main reason here is, of course, we're going to have a double weakness to fairy types in the back, and we kind of want to get them out. We have a steel type in the lead, which can deal with it. We have a double weakness to fighting type moves in the lead, and we have 2 resistances for fighting type moves in the back. So this team seems pretty solid. A little bit of an issue would be an Obstagoon lead, but it's kind of rare. We see a Ninetales here against us. This is kind of okay-ish. We can go for one Bulldoze here, and this Bulldoze should do a ton of damage if it lands, but it doesn't land. But it's a little bit tricky if they're actually gonna go for the 2 shields, or like shields down there. I don't know if they want to actually double shield here against me. They do try to double shield against me, which is not ideal. I'm going to shield up the next move from the opponent. We kind of have to, as we're going to have to still throw one move against them here, trying to get to another charge move in time. Ice Punch is the only thing that I can hit, but we get them low enough that I can farm them down with my Sableye. I will be able to just let this move go through. They're gonna go into a Victory Belly actually, which allows me to hit them with one foul play. And yeah, I actually went, all sets that I played with it positive. I went up, I think, around 270 points in 6 sets with this team, and so I can definitely highly recommend it to you. Was a lot of fun. Alolan Sandslash is something that a lot of people don't really saw in the meta yet, but you see a lot of Altaria currently. You're going to see a lot of Frostless, which you're actually pretty good against because your fast move does so much damage. And we also see a lot of Lantern. And with the fast move plus the option to go for a Bulldoze, Lantern is something that you can deal with. As we can see here, we have now a Water Gun version, which is a little bit worse because you're kind of squishy. Water Gun does a little bit more damage towards you. You can go for one Bulldoze, gonna get the shield and swap out. Because you want to get rid of a potential Charmer in the back, I can shield up the next move from the opponent here. Will be a Surf again. I can still go for one return. I go for a return because this will knock out the opponent, and it does, which is really good because the other move, Foul Play, wouldn't have done it. Very good that we actually got to the move. We're going to see a Sandslash coming in against us. Fine for us. We will be able to go ahead and go for another charge move here. Gonna get them low. We can take this move. We're going to let this move go through. We can go back into our Sandslash. They don't get to a Bulldoze in time, and I can farm them down as we see a Frostless in the back. This would not be the best thing if I didn't have like the energy advantage here and still a shield here, but you see already Sandslash does an insane amount of damage with the fast move, being super effective plus being a shadow bonus there, going to be very nice. We're going to see the earth power need here. I want to say the Bulldoze coming through here, going to knock out the opponent and winning us the game. Next one, we're going to see Sandslash against an Obstagoon. Here we see our Core Breaker. Let's see if we can deal with it. We're going to swap out immediately into Sableye. Not ideal whatsoever, of course. Here are 2 things that you can do. You can take always 2 Night Slashes with a XL Sableye, which is nice. You can either go straight for return or you're gonna go for the bait. I'm gonna go straight for return, which didn't work out really well for me, to be fair, as they're going to be able to go ahead and throw the Night Slash now after they shield one move. But at least I got a nice advantage here in terms of, the shield there, because I will be able to still go for one more charge move. I wouldn't have got to the return as far as I know. So we had to go for the foul play, as we can now align our Altaria, which can take 2 moves here, which is fine for me. They don't want to keep their Obstagoon, which is also okay for me, but I'm kind of hearing that they have something in the back that I really don't want to face. Going to now go for the full farm down because they actually ran for another Night Slash in time, and I get at least the full farm down done. We see an opponent's what's called an opponent's Sandslash coming in. It's basically a hard wall. Like, there was nothing I could have done here anyway, so good game to my opponent. Sometimes just happens. Here we see the little boy against the big boy. We see a Sandshrew. I think that's actually a Shundo from the opponent here. Very cool. Best buddy as well. We see the Night Slash coming through. Night Slash is a little bit tricky. Night Slash can be a little better than Bulldoze, but Bulldoze will always guarantee to get at least the shield here or like winning the switch advantage. But if Night Slash boosts, then it can be a little bit tricky to deal with as well. But a very good swap by my opponent, going to a Victory Bell here. allowing them to catch the move. I'm actually going to stay in here because I don't really want to, basically have my Altaria aligned later on, which I don't really want to see here. We're going to see the Altaria from the opponent coming in. I can go for one foul play, and I'm just going to try to get the shield from the opponent. We already got the other opponent low, basically the Sand Shrew of the opponent here, as we can farm down the Altaria all the way down. Basically, they're gonna go for one Moonblast, fine for me. I can farm them all the way down, and now it's basically only our Sandslash, our Altaria, and the opponent's Sand Shrew here. Not our Sandslash, our Sableye. Saber and Sandslash basically starts the same way. But yeah, we see already they let the move go through, which is fine for me. I can just farm them all the way down here, and they just going to surrender anyway. But yeah, this team in general is very straightforward. We're going to face actually a very good lead here for me. Trevenant is pretty horrible in general for this team, like against this team, because you have so many options to hit it. You have the Saber, which is decent against it. You have the Altaria, which is decent against it. And you have the Sandslash here, which is going to be very good against it. We will be able to go for one more Ice Punch here. There's going to be a Seed Bomb. We don't have to shield anything here. It's going to be resisted. Still going to hurt, but doesn't really matter. This allows us to realign. That's a lot of times realignment is pretty important, but this case I just can't give it up because it's going to be something that is weak against both the Pokemon that I have in the back. We see the Altaria coming in from the opponent. Fine for me. I can go ahead and actually, am I shielding this? I am not. It's going to be a Sky Attack, so I will be able to go for another charge move here. Hopefully gets a shield from the opponent, because this will allow us now to go ahead and go for the farm now with my own Altaria there. Actually going to go into my Sandslash instead. Never mind, I can knock them out there, and I can now swap into my own Altaria. And now, yeah, they're going to surrender anyway, because there was nothing that they could have done there anyway. Anymore. Next game, we're going to see Dunsparce. Dunsparce is, again, for this team also not ideal to play against, because Dunsparce is basically good against everything on your team. Will be able to resist the Shadow Claw damage from the Sableye, will be able to resist the Shadow Claw damage from your lead, while still having Drill Run for your lead, and also Rock Slide for the back. Yeah, if I had a good Dunsparce, I would have also used it as well. I think Dunsparce might be the best Pokemon currently in this meta, but I don't have a good Dunsparce, and I don't want to build a bad one, because like at least the one that I have would need some XL candies, and it would be very expensive, and I'm not gonna build it just randomly now. Misplay here maybe for me to let this go into the Venusaur, I'm not sure, but I think it's still fine. We will see most likely the Dunsparce coming back in here. No, we're going to see the Frostless. That's kind of weird, but I take that because it's going to be way better for me. I can go ahead and go for one Ice Punch, gonna get them low. I can go for the shield, and I can still go for more Ice Punches afterwards. There's going to be a Shadow Ball as well, amazing. We see the opponent coming in now into their Dunsparce. I think I'm gonna go for one more fast move, trying to catch the Drill Run here on my Altaria. Didn't work out. Doesn't matter either, because I can now just go ahead and farm them all the way down. They can go for 2 Rock Slides if they want to, and they do want to. And I can just let this move go through. I don't really care too much, and I'm going to let them get some fast move through it, just so they don't get as much farm with their Frostless. I can still go for one charge move here, which was kind of unnecessary, so I don't even hit all the bubbles. And I have to hope that I can farm them down in time now, because I don't get to 2 moves anyway, and they just going to surrender anyway. Next opponent, this is going to be actually, I think, a matchup that was, yeah, basically impossible, like completely impossible to win. Lickitung itself is a very rare Pokemon in this meta, because there are a ton of Obstagoon and Vigoroth. Like, I wouldn't run a Lickitung myself in this current meta, because it doesn't really make too much sense. But the thing is, you're going to see what they have in the back, and if I just played it differently, just slightly differently, and I thought of playing it differently, I would have been better off, but turns out, just gonna go for the Bulldoze. Actually don't know if the Ice Punch does more than Bulldoze, I just went for it because it's funny, but it turns out that they're going to have something in the back that I cannot deal with anyway. We're going to see a Charmer coming in here now, spoiler alert, a Whimsicott, and I am pretty sure there are 2 Charmers in the back anyway, so it doesn't really matter, and we can just forfeit there. There's nothing I can do. If you have like 2 Charmers there, like you kind of really want to swap out in the lead. The winning lead is not even the best for this team. If they have a Charmer in the back and you just have your Pokemon in the back, you can't screwed. But because if you swap into your Sableye, you usually get them out. You have access to return, which will get some damage on the opponent, so you should be pretty fine. Here we see a Shadow Sandslash against us as an XL version, which is kind of crazy. Has very good IVs as well. I think it might be a Hundo as well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not, but very strong CP stat there. The cool thing here is they actually went for the charge move here, which allows me to go for another Ice Punch, which I really want to do, but we actually see a Pachirisu coming in, which is also fine for me. I think I'm gonna go into my Altaria first, just to try to get some Dragon Breath damage on it, because Altaria can take moves a little bit better. Sure, my charge move was resisted, but I think it's the better choice. They're gonna go for Thunderbolt, gonna do some nice damage. I can go still for one more Sky Attack here, which should do a ton of damage as well. When I looked at the damage before, like it looks like it would have knocked them out, but it didn't. So Thunderbolt going to do some damage against me. I get them low. I can go ahead and go into my Saber I say swap, and of course I went to Altaria as well because of the Sandshrew, which is still lurking around in the back there. We will be able to go for one charge move here against them. I can go for a charge move here. I thought they would catch, but I wasn't sure directly now. But I thought it most likely doesn't matter anyway. I can shield this move up if I want to, and I'm actually going to not shield it up because I know that I can still get to the Sky Attack here, because Water Gun is resisted, and I will be able to knock them out with that as well. Winning us the game there. Next opponent, let's see what's going to happen here. We're going to see Sandslash against Altaria. Very good lead for me. I will be able to go for the Ice Punch, of course, but I can now see the double coming in, which is a pretty decent matchup for me, for my Altaria. Altaria in the back seem to be so good in this current meta, just because you have so many normal types as a Safe Swap, you resist the counter, or like double kick in this case, and you will be able to hit them hard with the Dragon Breath plus the Sky Attack. So here, we're going to just no-shield everything. I can take the next move as well, still I don't really want to waste another shield here, and I can get 2 shields up against them, which is totally okay for me because I know that I will be able to have a great time against whatever they have in the back anyway now. We will see that I'm actually going to go ahead and go into my Sandslash instead, which might seem a little bit weird. I'm actually going to no shield here as well, but I expect them to have another normal type in the back, like the Vigoroth, though I didn't really want to give them a lot of farm here, and we will see actually a Sandslash of their own in the back, which is fine for me. They try to catch the move way too early, which is pretty cool, as I can go for one Ice Punch now. Will be able to knock them out if I wanted to, but I'm actually going to keep my move, swap into my Sableye. I actually could let this move go through, and I'm actually going to do that as well, and I can farm them all the way down, winning me straight this game here, because they cannot take really a lot of foul plays. At least they can take this one, I think, but I think the fast move's already exactly going to be enough to knock them out. I'm actually going to no-shield this one as well, because I just want to have win in style, but they didn't let me win in style. They didn't let me knock them out with one Bulldoze of my own Sandslash, but still one with 2 shields advantage, which is very cool. Next opponent, we will see a Lantern in the lead. A Lantern will be pretty decent for us. We can go ahead and go for one Bulldoze. And as we have a Pokemon in the lead that can deal with Charm users, and I don't really have anything in the back to deal with Charm users, what we're going to do now, we're going to swap out into our Sableye afterwards. We got our shield advantage, which we really wanted. If they have a Ninetales on the back, they're going to still have to shield up in the next move, but we're going to actually get out the Obstagoon, which is really good for me that we get out the Obstagoon here, as we still will be able to hit one return, gonna get them low. They're actually going to get the attack boost, which is of course really unfortunate, but this is how it goes. We can go for one return and still gonna get them low, as we can go into our Altaria. We can take one move at least. I'm not sure if I'm going to shield up the second move that's coming in, because they're definitely gonna get to 2. But they actually didn't throw it. I'm pretty sure they would have got there. We will see the Frost is coming in, allows me to go for one Sky Attack here, trying to get some damage on them, and I will definitely get some damage on them, and now we have the Lantern against us. I'm pretty sure they're going to shield this one, because they need to get some damage on me, and they're going to shield this one, which allows me now to shield up their moves, go for the Bulldoze, and now I'm hopefully able to knock out the opponent later on. But yeah, we're going to still have one shield now left, which should work out pretty well. Bulldoze coming through, knocking out the opponent, and we see the Frostless coming back in here, as we can shield up the next move. I think they don't even get to another charge move in time, and we actually get to one Ice Punch anyway. This will knock out the opponent and wins us the game. Going to the final game, this should be a very short one. Let's see, we're going to Sandslash against Venusaur. Very good lead for me. I can just stay in here. We see a Skarmory coming in. I most likely should have swapped out into my Sableye here. Sableye would have been the way to go. Would have been way better against this Pokemon, but as they have a Steel Wing actually, it's going to be a little bit tough. We're going to see the Ice Punch coming through, we're going to do some nice damage, and we can shield up the next charge move by the opponent, Brave Bird coming through, as we see that we will be able to go ahead and go for the Farm Down. We're going to see, I think the opponent, going into an Auroras right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to shield this move up anyway. Let's see. We're going to go straight for the Bulldoze, and they're going to actually let this move go through. This is amazing and really important for me, but I can let the move go through. They're going to go for the Meteor Beam. I don't really care about it. I can go ahead and go into my Venus now, and they're going to forfeit. So it's going to be it for the video. This team is amazing. I highly recommend it to you. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.